morning children. I hope class 6 children are watching this video. So before this video already many things already I have discussed, and it was told to complete your exercise also. I hope you might have done, and if you have not done, please watch those videos, and whatever task was given you try to complete that. Today in this video we are going to learn under this number system estimation. So we will start this estimation by your book. You might have purchased your book. So we will see our book first, and in book, if you have, just you see, this is in page number 12, estimation is there. So here you see what it has been written. Before estimation, we must know how to round off. So that you need to understand how to round off this one. We must know how to round off a number to the nearest 10, nearest 100 and nearest 1000. So before knowing estimation what it is, you need to know rounding off of nearest 10, nearest 100 and nearest 1000, etc. For the same we need the rules given below. So what rules have been given, you see? Here you see, rounding a number to the nearest 10. You will see this first. Rounding off number to the nearest 10. What rule is there? First step we have, see the ones digit of the given number. What we need to do? We need to see first digit of the given number. Step 2 we have, if ones digit is less than 5, replace ones digit by 0 and keep the other digits as they are. And third step we have, if ones digit is 5 or more, increase tens digit by 1 and replace ones digit by 0. So here you see some example we will take. Suppose you have 2-digit number, any 2-digit number you take. Suppose you have 14 and you need to round off this. What you need to do? See the ones digit of the given number. When 2 digit you have and you need to round off, rounding a number to the nearest 10 you have to do. Then what you need to do? You have to see first your ones digit. If ones digit is less than 5, already it is less than 5, replace ones digit by 0. What you need to do? This ones digit is required to be replaced by 0 and keep the other digits as they are. So here you will write, since 4 is lesser than 5, therefore 4 is replaced by 0, and finally you will get the number. So when you round off, the number will be 1, 0, 10. It will become 10. In the same way, some other example also you can take. Suppose if you are taking 23. Now you see, ones digit you need to see. If ones digit is lesser than 5, if ones digit is lesser than 5, then what you need to do? Ones digit is required to be replaced by 0. So this will be 20. In the same way, some other number you take. Suppose you have taken 91. Now again the same thing is there. 1 is lesser than 5. So what you need to do? 9. Ones digit is required to be replaced by 0. So this will be 90. Some other number you take. Suppose you have 124. 124. Now again the same thing is required to be done. You need to see ones digit if ones digit is lesser than 5, this ones digit is required to be replaced by 0 and this will become 1 to 0. So I hope you understood. If lesser than 5 ones digit you have, what you need to do? Simply that is required to be replaced by 0. Now next example we will take. Suppose you have any other number 26. Now what we will do? This ones digit we will see. In this time you have ones digit greater than 5. So what we need to do? This 6 is required to be replaced by 0. And in tens digit what number you have? That is required to be added by 1. So 2 plus 1, it will become 30. I hope you understood what you need to do. Ones digit is required to be replaced by 0 and in tens digit what number you have, that is required to be added by 1. So you will add 1 on 2, you will get 3. So finally after rounding off you got the number 30. Other example you take, suppose any number you have 95. So again you need to see this ones digit. Either this should be greater than 5 or equal to 5. Then here in this condition you have 5 is equal to 5. So again the same thing is required to be done. This ones digit is required to be replaced by 0 and here you have 9. So 1 is required to be added on this. So 9 plus 1, 10. So finally you got 100. So what did we learn? In rounding a number to the nearest 10, what did we learn? If ones digit is lesser than 5, simply that ones digit is required to be replaced by 0. That's it. And rest of the number will be same. But if ones digit is greater than 5, then ones digit is required to be replaced by 0 and tens digit is required to be added by 1. So I hope you understood. Okay, next we will see. Next we have rounding a number to the nearest 100. In this case what we will do? In this case rounding a number to the nearest 100. What we have? See the tens digit of the given number. In this case, in first case what we had? Ones digit we were saying. Here what you need to do? See the tens digit of the given number. If tens digit is less than 5, replace each one of tens and ones digits by 0 and keep the other digits as they are. So here we will see how we will do. Okay. Suppose take any number. Suppose we have taken 1, 2 and 3. You have to round off this. What is needed to be seen? See the tens digit of the given number. Here you see tens digit you have 2 and 2 is lesser than 5. 2 is lesser than 5. Then what we need to do? Replace each one of tens and ones digits by 0. So these both ones and tens digit will be required to be replaced by 0 and keep the other digits as they are. So this will be 1, double 0 means 100. Take any other example. Suppose you have 145. Again, what we need to do? Here you see, if this tens digit, you have 4. So 4 is lesser than 5 in this case. Same thing is required to be done. Tens digit and ones digit is required to be replaced by 0. So this will be 1, 0, 0 and nothing you have to do. So if you are rounding off, this is 100. Now take another example. Suppose you have 155. In this case, what we will do? Here you see. Tens digit you have 5 equal to 5. So, what we will do? These tens and ones digit is required to be replaced by 0. Here you see, if this digit is 5 or more, means 5 or greater than 5, increase hundreds digit by 1 and replace each digit on its right by 0. It means these both will be replaced by 0. And in 100 digit what number you have, that is required to be increased by 1. So 1 you add on this, you will get 2. So this will be 200. In the same way, take some other example. Suppose 165. What we will do? 6 is greater than 5 and these both ones and tens digit is required to be converted into 0 or required to be replaced by 0 and 1 is required to be added by 1. So this will become 200. Rounding a number to the nearest thousand. You see the hundreds digit of the given number. If hundreds digit is less than 5, replace each one of hundreds, tens and ones digit by 0 and keep the other digits as they are. So here you see one example we will take. Suppose you have 5239. So what we need to see? We need to see in hundreds place what number you have. So you have 2 is lesser than 5. What you need to do? In hundreds place, tens place and ones place what digit you have, that is required to be replaced by 0. And rest of the number will be as it is. If it is lesser than 5, take any other example. Suppose 10,329. The same thing is there. In hundreds place you have 3. So obviously 3 is lesser than 5. So this is required to be replaced by 0 and rest of the number will be as it is. So this is 10,000. Take some other example. Suppose you have 10,529. In this case, what we will do? This 5 in hundreds place, that is equal to 5. What we need to do? Again, these 3 digits are required to be replaced by 0. But in this case, if 5 is equal to 5 or more, then in this case 1 is required to be added on this. So this will become 11,000. Take some other example. Suppose you have 12,659. Again, obviously, this in hundreds place you have 6. So 6 is greater than 5. So this is required to be replaced by 0. These 3 digits, and here 1 is required to be added. So this will become 13,000. So I hope you understood these all. Then some short examples are there. You see, round each of the following numbers to the nearest 10. Here you see first example you have 53. In 53 the ones digit is 3. 53 you have 53, and in 53 ones digit is 3 and 3 is lesser than 5. 3 is lesser than 5. The required rounded number will be, what we need to do? Ones digit is required to be replaced by 0 and tens digit and other digits will be remain same. So this will be 5. So required rounded number is equal to 50. In the same way, you have 287. So we need to see ones digit. So ones digit you have 7 and 7 is greater than 5. So ones digit is required to be replaced by 0 and tens digit is required to be added by 1. So this will become 290. In the same way, some other questions are there that you see, go through and try to understand. Second example you say, round each of the following numbers to the nearest 100. Here you see 648 you have. In 648, the tens digit is 4 and that is lesser than 5. So when you are rounding off nearest 100, you need to see tens digit. So in 648, your tens digit is 4 and 4 is lesser than 5. If lesser than 5, it is what you need to do. In ones digit and tens digit, what number you have, that is required to be replaced by 0. And in hundreds place or in other places, if no digits are there, they will be remain same. So this will be required. Your required rounded number will be 600. So in the same way, other questions also have been solved. So you go through yourself and try to understand. Okay, next we will see. Round each of the following numbers to the nearest 1000. You need to, what you need to do? To nearest 1000 you need to round up. So we will see hundreds place. In hundreds place, what digit we have? In 5486, in hundreds place we have 4. So obviously 4 is lesser than 5. What we need to do? Hundreds place, tens place and ones place, what digit you have? That is required to be replaced by 0. And rest of the digits will remain same. So this will be 5000. In the same way, other examples are there. See this example. Suppose you have number 2, 3, 6, 5, 9. 23,659, and you have to round up this up to the nearest 1000. We will see in hundreds place what digit we have. We have 6 over here, and obviously 6 is greater than 5. In this case, what we need to do? These 3 digits will be replaced by 0, and 1 is required to be added on the digit which is in thousands place. So this will become 4 and 2. So required rounded off the number you will have 24,000. So in this way you go through properly, try to understand, and it will be better if you note down also in your copy.